Okay.
Right, Isaiah Bond.
Those were insightful. All right, let's get to Isaiah Bond. There's a lot of hype for Isaiah Bond. Are we excited about Isaiah Bond? Are we lukewarm on Isaiah Bond? How you feel right now? Jason, how do you feel about Isaiah Bond?
I think you have a role, like run fast, throw it far. Like, are we expecting something beyond that as his role? I don't know that I am. I don't know how you can. I don't know how you know.
Let me ask you this in a related question. Before you go ahead on Isaiah Bond, and then I'll get a related question on that.
Bond was a guy that was projected to be a day 2 pick last season. Obviously had some off-field stuff, which led him to be an undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
Browns signed him. They hadn't had any speed in the receiver room. He comes in, makes a couple of big plays with Shedeur. At camp, Zach Jackson, who is brutally honest, had told us he had 2 back-to-back really good open OTA practices that stood out. ESPN named him their breakout player. I don't know what his top-end potential is. I'm not sure if he's going to turn into the next Deshaun Jackson. I don't think that's the case. But the Browns have an offensive coach now who, historically speaking, has liked to push the ball downfield.
They already had an offensive coach.
Not the one pushed downfield. Monken, historically speaking, has pushed the ball downfield, talked about the need for explosive plays. Go all the way back to his Southern Miss days. They led the Conference USA in explosive passing plays over 20-plus yards. I know it's a decade ago, but just saying his track record says we want to be vertical.
Yeah.
He's probably their best vertical option. So I think he has a role. I'm not expecting 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns by any means, but I think he could certainly be a 800, 700-yard receiver with a couple big plays.
No, that's a lot. This year?
I mean, what did he have? He had 300 last year and
he's
in
not
5 games.
800 this year. You're what are you at?
But he only
800.
He's
their fourth receiver.
Pull up his stats again. He had what?
Mike, he's their 4th receiver. What are you talking about? He ain't gonna have 800 this year.
Well, I'm not saying everyone's gonna have 1,000, but he had 300 yards. He played like 5 games. I don't think it's crazy to think he could double that with a full season. He had 350 yards on 18 targets.
He play 5 games.
He had 18 catches for 338 yards. He only played when Shedeur came in late at the end.
They didn't have 2 guys they just drafted in the 1st and 2nd round.
If he has 50 yards, I don't think it's possible to average 50 yards a game here.
You're out of your mind. Let's just say that. Jason with me here. Is there any chance he's going to have 800 yards?
I mean, I wouldn't make that bet, but I'm not going to just sit here and totally dismiss. I think 500 is probably 600.
500, maybe.
I think 500, 600.
He's their 4th receiver, is he not?
I think he takes a step above Tillman, right?
Above who?
You've got Judy and the 2 rookies.
Judy and the rookies.
Judy and the rookies.
Yeah, well, and Fannin. Okay.
He's their 5th pass catcher.
I'll go 600.
Even that's pushing it. But here's the thing. You know what would help those numbers go up if they traded Jerry Judy.
Yes.
Now, we haven't talked about this at all.
Who wants him on that contract?
You're telling me somebody wouldn't? He's not making crazy money.
This is last year, isn't it?
Is it his last year?
I think it was a 3-year extension. This is the 2nd year here. I think this is his last year.
The question is, do you want to get rid of the only veteran receiver you have?
Depends on if he's good in the clubhouse. I mean, if he's good in the locker room.
I've heard he's fine in the locker room.
I haven't heard anything bad about him.
Yeah. So, but if I'm a good team, like on a good team, I don't know what kind of attitude he's going to have as a 3rd receiver on a good team, because that's what he should be.
Right.
As a 3rd receiver on a good team, I think he'd play that role well.
I would even say he could be a number 2.
Fine. But he's not a number 1.
No.
We know
that.
That.
He's a 2 for sure.
And I'd rather see all the passes go to the 2 rookies, Fannin, and even Bond. And I'm like, let's move on from Jerry Judy. He's fine, but we don't need him. I mean, he stunk last year. He was good. He was really good the year before. He was
terrible last year.
I do think you need some sort of veteran presence in a locker room.
So go sign Keenan Allen.
I think Allen signed.
On both sides of the ball. On both sides. You need somebody on both sides.
Denzel Ward's probably not going anywhere.
And you do have Denzel and Delpit and whatever on the defensive side.
Yeah.
On the offensive side, outside of Judy, and I don't know that Judy's...
There's a veteran presence.
Yeah, I don't know that Judy's a great leader per se.
Is there a free agent wide receiver that they could add in if they traded Judy?
We talked about Nick Chubb yesterday. Would you bring Chubb back? Is that
I don't
veteran
think there's
leader?
left.
Not at running back. I had said that at the beginning of the offseason, but at this point, no.
I don't know I don't think there's much left in that tank.
Are you looking at veteran receivers, free agents?
Yeah, I was going to look up, veteran receivers at this point. See who's still. Here's Stephon Diggs. You don't want.
No.
Deebo Samuel. You don't want.
You're probably fine just keeping Judy. I think there's a danger in going completely young. and not having anyone.
I just like the idea of seeing the all young guys getting the targets. I'd rather see
who's to say that they
Isaiah
won't?
Bond get more targets.
Who's to say that they
than
won't?
the young? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You know, but then you probably could get, even though he had a bad year, and I'm not saying you're going to get a lot for Jerry Jeudy. You're not, but you could get more from him now, I think, than you would in the season if he's phased out of the rotation.
Fifth.
I mean, they got very little for Amari.
They got third for Amari.
Did they? I thought
Yeah.
they got, I thought
And
it
Amari was older too, but he was better,
But he's-
obviously.
I think
more
what
reliable.
maybe a fourth.
I think the
Did
best.
they really get a third for him? I thought it was.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll double check that, but
Buffalo,
I
right?
would
The
think
third,
the
yeah.
best you can get is a fourth, and I'm not even sure you can get that.
No, I think you're looking at like a sixth.
Yeah, or maybe you can get another player in a position that, another. I don't know.